Okay, now I'll tell you this. Some of you are not really going to want to hear this. Okay, I don't really care. A lot of guys want to make excuses. They want to cope. They want to say, oh, that's not true. They want to constantly do anything to shortcut the work in life that it takes to either be a man who is strong, stable, successful. They'll do anything other than the work and accept the brutal reality of what they actually have to do to get ahead. I feel like I'm very qualified to teach you this and explain this to you, so here goes. Today I'm going to explain to you how to not be a mid-level guy. How to not be a mid-level guy. So that way a variety of women find you attractive. Most guys, they go through life year after year, and if they trip and fall and stumble into having a girlfriend, that's the one woman who just happened to like them, but other than that, they have no options. I want you to be able to come at life in all ways, shapes, and forms from a standpoint of abundance. And I mean that socially, I mean that in your dating life, I mean that in your career, and I mean that in every way, shape, and form. Okay, because of that, I'm going to help you out a lot today, so let's dive in. So, how to not be a mid-level guy. You have to understand this. Nowadays, if you want to have a good dating life, it's more competitive than ever. We have online dating, we have dating apps, we have social media, we have meeting people in person. Women have a lot of options, so because of that, this is everything you're going to have to do. This is not one specific strategy or one specific tactic. I'm going to be explaining to you how I look at life as a whole. Now, there's a saying, okay? If you have been in the gym for a while, you might hear people say this. The saying is, a six-pack is made in the kitchen. And what that means is you have to manage your diet properly. Okay, I'm going to use that as like a comparison or an analogy because an above average SMV, okay, if you're a man and you want to become like an 8, 9, or 10, the work is done in the shadows, basically all by yourself in isolation. Just like the six-pack is made in the kitchen where nobody sees it, everybody just sees that guy at the gym. An above average SMV is done in the shadows, in silence, by yourself, where you prioritize yourself and you focus on your own self-work. Okay. One of the things that I do, for example, every other day is I go on probably like a 60 to 80 minute walk outside in the sun to get good cardio in. I do this fasted. I've been doing this for years, all by myself. Nobody can do that for me. Nobody can lift the weight for me. Nobody can make the videos for me. Nobody can do any of this for me. I have to actually self-prioritize my own success. Very important. To have an above average SMV, the work is done in the shadows. You might be wondering how, okay? How do you do this? How do you get the work done every day? You do this by being very aware of time 24/7 and prioritizing each hour to get ahead. So I'll give you an example. When most guys wake up, most guys are like, oh, like let's say it's a day off. They don't have to work that day. Maybe they wake up, they stretch, they call this friend for 20, 30 minutes, then they drive to the coffee shop for a half hour, not really prioritizing anything. Then maybe they'll go get brunch with a friend. They live in leisure, and then the whole day passes them by, and next thing you know, it's 5, 6 o'clock, and they didn't get anything done. If you want to actually prioritize your own success, you're not going to be able to live that way. Most guys kind of just free flow the whole day in leisure. You have to actually have the mindset, okay, that the rent is due every day. And I don't mean that just financially, I mean everything. Your body, your career, your physique, your mindset, your well-being, your social skills, everything, you need to stay on track. If you don't stay on track, you'll fall into bad behavior. Maybe you start going out and partying too much or stuff like that, okay? The mindset has to be wired to wake up. So this is me, what I'm doing. I wake up and I try to get as much done as possible every single day. 7 days a week if I can. I try to get as many things done. And I'm not just talking about for career, I'm talking about my overall well-being. I'm trying to perform as much as I can. The mindset has to be, you wake up, okay, and you're wired to just get stuff done. You wake up with a sense of urgency to perform. This is what I've tried to do every single day of my life for probably the past 11 or 12 years now, okay? So let me give you an example. Most guys, let's say they want to wake up on a Saturday and go to the gym. And maybe they have this idea in their mind that they're going to wake up right at 7 a.m. and go and get it done. Here's what happens. Let's say they have a friend come into town, and let's say that friend wants to hang out with them, and they'll just say, okay. So now the night before that they're supposed to go to the gym, they're out till 2 in the morning. Then that alarm goes off and he doesn't feel like doing it. Then he finally wakes up at 11. Then by 11:30, the friend wants to go get brunch or dinner or lunch or something like that. And then he goes and eats, and next thing you know, it's 2 o'clock and he got nothing done. And he was out late the night before, didn't sleep, didn't prioritize his sleep, didn't get anything done in the gym that he wanted to get done, didn't prioritize career, definitely didn't work on his strength and his faith internally when it comes to connecting with God. And now his whole day is just gone. That's how most guys live. An above average SMV starts up here. Okay? I'm telling you this because I have real experience. I have real experience in my dating life. I have real experience in my career. I've been doing this for a lot of years. This is what it takes. Every single day you perform. So, if you fall into passiveness, time will pass you by. One of the ways that you will fall into passiveness is if you spend way too much time with either let's say family members constantly putting you into leisure, maybe your girlfriend or your wife, or maybe let's say friends who have really bad habits, you're going to fall into passiveness. And what that means is the people who are around you, it's like you got to take 30 minutes to do this, then 30 minutes to do that, then this friend calls you, then this relative calls you, then this person texts you, then you have this obligation and that obligation. And to get ahead in life, you have to learn how to say no. So when I wanted to perform, okay, with the goals that I had in my early 20s when it came to business or career or anything, I had to just say no for a while. No, I wasn't going to the family reunion. No, I'm not going to take the time to call you back right now. No, I don't care if I missed that phone call. No, I don't care if I missed that FaceTime call. No, I don't care that I missed the cousin's ex-girlfriend's birthday party. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing what I need to do because I'm going to make sure I hit my goals. I'm going to make sure I set myself up for success. If you don't take control of your time, the other people around you will do it for you. The other people around you will take control of your time for you, okay? It could be your girlfriend, it could be your wife, it could be your parents, it could be your friends. Every single hour adds up. I don't care what anybody tells you. Every hour adds up. How do you make the most of your 24 hours per day? This is why time prioritization is so important. Nobody can put the 10,000 hours into the gym to build the body for you. Nobody can put the 1,000 or 2,000 hours into the social skills of doing the approaches for you. Nobody can do any of this for you. Okay? Right now on my channel, there's I think there's 4,000 videos. Okay? I had to film all of those videos. Okay? It's the difference between the compounding effect needed over 5 to 10 years to actually see the results versus not seeing the results. So I want to touch on these words right here. Discipline, strength, and the ability to get the work done. The ability to get the work done and to work alone, because nobody can do it for you. This will start to separate you from the pack. This will separate you from most. Everybody else starts to look really average. Okay, that's why I'm going to title this, How to Not Be a Mid-Level Guy. Everybody else starts to look really average and you look like you have success, because you do. So it no longer becomes about needing to act confidently. You are literally the byproduct of confidence. You're the byproduct of success. People can look at you and they say, yep, he did the work. That's a winner. So keep that in mind. Now, the first thing you need to do, because I know that a lot of guys watching this, you're going to want actual tangible advice. This is the first thing that I could tell you because this was the first thing that I took control of when I was really young. You need to learn, in my opinion, how to maintain a six-pack year-round. You need to learn how to stay in shape year-round. If you start to get lazy and you start eating too much, you're falling into passiveness, you're over-consuming bad food. This is not good. The first thing you need to do is you need to learn how to maintain a six-pack year-round. So everything that goes into your mouth should be tracked when it comes to your food, your macros, your calories. I will tell you this, macros matter. The reason why I look the way that I do is because I know what I'm eating. End of discussion. Macros matter. If you don't know how to do this, research how to track your macros. Very important, your protein, your carbs, and your fats. So I'm telling you this, okay? The first thing you need to learn how to do is control your body composition and your look, okay? I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care if this guy tells you go get your money right first. I don't care if this guy tells you, hey, it doesn't matter about your fitness, just go and fix your social life or whatever. Listen to me closely. You need to get your body on point physically. This is so important. These words that I wrote down right here, your look, your strength, masculinity, the ability to protect. Okay, when you're dating a woman or when anybody's around you, you are signaling strength, okay? So your physical strength and like your look, okay, matters. It's perception. A woman looks at you and she goes, he is strong. I feel safe around him. He looks like he is very strong. You need to max out your genetics. Maximize your genetic potential. I don't care where your starting point is at. Every day just work towards being better. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't compare yourself to that guy in the gym or that guy in the gym or that guy in the gym. Work on being better. Maximize yourself. Very important. Now, next up, I want you to work daily, okay, your whole life on acquiring industry status in your niche or in your career. If you're a doctor, I want you to become the best doctor. If you're a dentist, I want you to become the best dentist. If you are a shoe salesman, I want you to become the best shoe salesman that's ever lived. Because when you actually look at this, okay, listen closely. The man starts to build himself and his core identity, which should start to transition into career. Okay, not job, not how to make money. The word career is very important. Transition into career. You need to fortify yourself into knowing where you're going. That is vision and that is purpose and that is direction. Nobody talks about this. So majority of men who have some type of like, let's say fame or status, a lot of times acquired this through career and being very good at what they do. Okay? Look at anybody. Maybe it's a famous artist, maybe it's a famous musician, okay, maybe it's a pro athlete. Okay, you need to be good at what you do. The better you get at what you do, the more recognition you have. Okay? I would almost guarantee you right now that whatever city you're in, you would probably see something like this. There is a real estate agent in your town probably where you just see that one specific person's signs all over, where that person has more listings than anybody else. In some way, shape, and form, that is a level or an example of status, okay? Maybe there is a dentist in your hometown or a doctor, or let's say an orthodontist that does more procedures when it comes to a good smile than anybody. And maybe there's billboards all over the town. Whether you like how that looks or not is irrelevant. This would be an example of some type of career status. Not everybody is going to be able to be a famous musician or a rock star or a pro athlete, but what you can do is you can acquire industry status and get good at what you do, and you can have recognition doing something. This is so important, okay? So be the best at what you do. Okay, I would almost call this something like, let's say, the local celebrity effect. I'll give you an example. When I was in my early 20s, okay, I did fitness coaching, and it was all like online. A lot of times I would make like content and vlogs and videos, and I would show myself working out and make videos and all that. And at the time in my hometown, this was so many years ago, I was really like the only one that I knew of who was doing it. Like I didn't know anybody else in my hometown who was doing this at the time besides me. So what I can tell you is this: recognition starts to equal options. Okay, so when you think of yourself and your future and your vision and your career, okay, I want you to not look at these three words around it, because these three words cause you to look at things too quickly, and it causes you to not view things the right way because you just want the end result. Words that I do not like to use would be job, okay, because when you say the word job, you just look at it as something that you're doing just to do the thing to get paid. Another word or words that people use is like make money. If you have a guy and he says, I want to make more money, he still just wants the end result. Another word that I don't like to use is a word like wealth, for example, because wealth, once again, you're just looking at the end result. A lot of times when a guy uses these words, it all comes down to the tactics or the strategy in his mind to get the end result. And that is not what I want you to look at. I want you to look at the word career, because career equals vision and vision equals purpose, and you can start to see where your future is headed. And that creates more confidence and clarity, okay? Because you're actually knowing where you're going and you're attempting to be the best at what you do. That right there is how you do not become a mid-level guy. So that way you can have more options than most people that you know. If you like this video, hit the like button. Join us inside of the community that I built so that way I can help you learn, understand, and master the language of women. And we'll see you in the next one.